Now, I'm just going to show you guys how to be great inviters. So so a question a lady just asked me, I just got off a Zoom call right now and, with Richie and the lady on the call with us, she asked, how can I, like, what do I need to say to people? How do I promote the company? What am I promoting? The first thing you need to understand if you want to be great at inviting is, what are you actually inviting someone to? What are you inviting someone to? Because a lot of people get the idea that when you're inviting someone to an event, you need to invite them you need to say it's about Forex, or you need to say it's about traveling, or you need to say that it's about, what do you call it? It's about I go trade or all this kind of stuff. Like, you'd be surprised a lot of the time when I invite someone to a Zoom call or invite someone to an event, I barely even mention, like, the guests that I had that showed up to this Sunday's event. These guys, I didn't even tell them that it was to do with trading. Like, they didn't even know it was trading. They simply messaged me and I said, hey, look, we've got a great event this Sunday. You got to come down. I've got one ticket left. Do you want it or do you not want it? And it was like, yeah, I want it. It was like, look, you know what? This ticket, you can bring a +1 with you. And it was like, cool. I'm bringing a friend with me. He actually brought down a friend with him as well. So, inviting someone is, you don't always have to mention it's to do with Forex or cryptocurrency or network marketing or making a bit of residual income. Like, what you're actually promoting, this is what I found works, is what we're actually promoting when we're inviting someone is what medias can actually do to someone. What can medias do to that person's life? That's what we're promoting. And if we look at the range of what medias can do to that person's life, number one, it can help them to learn a new skill set. Number two, it can help them to establish a new income for themselves. Number three, it can help them to create a residual income, which right now they're not making because they're making residual bills. And if they're not making residual income, you can never be financially free. So how about learning a way to make residual income so that you never need to worry about your bills ever again? This is what we're promoting, right? Another thing you're promoting the idea of freedom, right? Never having to worry about money ever again, right? These are the things that we're promoting when we're invited, or we should be promoting, when we're inviting people. The idea of being part of a pioneering, a part of a company at a pioneering stage. That's something that's very unique about this opportunity right now, because people can be part of medias at a pioneering stage. Like, if you knew about Amazon, if you knew about Google, you had an opportunity to invest in Amazon or Google, around the beginning, would you do that? If you had an opportunity to be part of some of the biggest network marketing companies today, like ACN and Herbalife and Amway, at the very beginning, would you take up that opportunity? 100%. So what if I was to give you an opportunity to be part of what will be $1 billion company at a pioneering stage? Would you take that opportunity would you take the opportunity to take a look? 100% I would do that. So look, that's how I speak to people when I invite them to events or invite them to webinars. I don't say, hey, do you want to learn to trade? Like, or do you want to travel for cheap, or do you want to save 70% on your travel? The reason I don't invite like that is because you sound just like every other network marketer. And guys, believe you me, these guys probably have heard about 7 different companies, like, people approaching them, especially on the social media, in the social media age, right? Where we're really utilizing social media to build our businesses. Like, they're probably getting 5-10 messages a day from other networkers, saying, hey, I've got an amazing opportunity for you. Or people saying, oh, come learn to trade with us, or come, it's like, you don't want to be like every other networker that's promoting to that person. You want to be different. You want to be unique. You want to stand out. You want to promote something that they've never heard about, that once they hear it from you, is going to really pique their interest. So what is the number one rule of inviting? The number one rule of inviting is you got to learn to keep people curious. Curiosity is key. If you don't know how to keep a person curious, you would never know how to bring them to an event. Curiosity is key, because curiosity is what would bring someone to an event or make someone to plug into a meeting. Like, how do you keep someone curious? Well, think about it. When I'm speaking with someone, I try to get to know as much as I can about them. I try to know their situation as much as I can. Like, oh, you're a mother, you've got children. Like, okay, great. So what are you doing right now? In terms of income wise, you're working like 2-3 jobs. And I try to find a problem. I try to find a problem that right now that person is having. So when you're building a rapport with someone, first you got to dig for information, and you got to use that information to identify a problem. So, okay, cool. Single mother, 2 children, working 2 different jobs. What is the number one problem that she could be having right now? Well, she doesn't have time to spend with the children. She doesn't have time to see her children do amazing things for the first time. So I want to ask you a question. If I could show you a way to buy back your time and spend more time with your children, would you be open to taking a look at what I have to show you? Like, straight away, like I've identified a problem, but now what have I done? I'm providing a solution to that problem without being pushy, without saying, hey, come do this. Like I'm offering her a way to say, look, I've got a solution for you. Do you want it or not? Right? And now what does she say? She's like, you know what? I want to know more information. Now, the moment someone says, I want to know more information, or the moment someone says, tell me more, you've done a great job. Tick. Like the first part, you've done perfectly well. Now, when they say, tell me more, I want to know more information, what is the next thing that you do? Well, it's very simple. I say, look, right now, the best way for you to see this information would be to either see this information in person, like at our live events in Central London, or plug into our conference calls. So now what do I do is this. I look at the day that I'm inviting that person. If I'm inviting that person on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, I would want to plug them into a presentation. And this is a rule with inviting. The moment you pique someone's interest, you want to invite them to an event within 24 hours, within 24 hours. Don't invite them to something like next week and then not speak to them for like the whole 7 days. Like that's a really unprofessional way to build a business. Like you want to, the moment you open someone, the moment you start a conversation, the moment you pique the interest, you want to invite them to an event within 24 hours. And when I say event, I don't necessarily mean like a big event like we have every Sunday or Zoom conference calls. An event can be anything from a PBR, which is a private business reception. So PBRs is when you sit down with someone one-to-one in a coffee shop, in a hotel lobby. You invite them to your home for a home meeting. That's also a form of a PBR. Like that's an event as well. Okay, so an event is something that you can be small, whereas a one-to-one meeting or 3-to-1 meeting with your mentor, or it could be something big like the events we have on Sunday. But the goal is you want to invite them to an event within 24 hours. Now, what if there isn't an event within 24 hours? You create one. You create one. If there isn't an event within 24 hours, you need to create an event. You need to create a PBR for them. You need to say, hey, look, I'm going to be in London 7 p.m. tomorrow. I'm going to be seeing quite a few people. Would you be able to meet me at X and X location? Or, hey, look, come down to my apartment tomorrow so we can actually show you, so I can show you the information at 6 p.m. So you want to create an event if there isn't one in 24 hours. Okay. So that is the number one thing. So you got to keep them curious. But the thing is, curiosity doesn't last long. That's why you got to do it in 24 hours. You cannot keep someone curious for 7 days. They're going to lose interest. So if you're going to keep someone curious and say, hey, look, come to an event if you want to know more information, or plug into my conference call to see the full information, then that's only going to last for 24 hours. And that's why you need to plug them into an event within 24 hours, or they're simply going to lose interest. So rule number one, curiosity. The second is urgency. You're going to move fast. Like, that's why I say 24 hours, because urgency is important. If you're not urgent, the person is going to feel that what you want to show them is not that important. So if you are like, look, when can I get on a call with you tonight? Are you free tonight at 6 p.m. so I can show you this information? Or are you free to meet me tomorrow at 6 p.m.? They're like, why so fast? Well, it's important, right? So if it's urgent, it's important. If it's not urgent, it's not important. That's the psychological thing that as human beings we have. So that's why you're going to move with urgency, because when you move with urgency, that's going to raise the importance of what you have to of what you have to show the person, and it's going to raise the importance in your prospect's mind of the information that you need to show to them. Okay, so you got to be urgent. And the third rule is you got to be excited. Like, excitement is key. Excitement is key to a successful inviter. Like, think about, I don't know whether you've had a moment in your past when someone has invited you to an occasion. Someone has invited you to an occasion, whether it's to go out clubbing, whether it's to go to a wedding or whatever. And they were like, hey, do you want to do something tonight? Like, I don't know, like, let's go to, I don't know, let's go to cinema or whatever. And you're just like, nah, not really. I'd rather stay at home. Right? I'd rather stay at home. Like, the reason why you probably said no, not because you want to stay at home, but because that person's energy wasn't really something you wanted to be around. And you probably felt like, you know what, I really don't want to be around this person right now. But imagine someone calls you and they're like, hey, look, how you doing, bro? Like, it's been a while. Listen, I've booked out a VIP table like this Saturday. I'm celebrating my birthday. And look, right now I'm inviting my closest friends to be there with me, and I want you to be there. Bro, are you going to be free this weekend to join me, for my VIP celebration? Like, even if, like, for me, I don't club as much as I used to. And, because for me, like, my interest and my focus is in much bigger things. So, but if I had a friend that called me with that sort of excitement and they're like, look, come down this Saturday, most likely I'm going to be like, hell yeah. Like, I want to be around that energy. I want to be around excited people. I want to be around people that love life, right? So think about, like, the tonality when you're speaking to people, when you're inviting people to an event. You got to be excited. It's like, hey, look, this Sunday, I've got something exciting. We have some incredible mentors that are going to be showing as many people as they can, how they can make a bit of residual income for themselves, how they can make a bit of extra income for themselves. Like you want to be excited when you're inviting someone to something, a Zoom call, to a training, to a meeting. Be excited. ABC, always be excited. ABE. So those are the three very important rules for invite. Curiosity, right? You got to be urgent. You got to move fast. 24 hours. That's why tonight on the call, I said we're going to have another call tomorrow evening, at 8 p.m. Because now the people on that call were excited. And now when someone is excited, that is the best time for them to take action. So if they're excited, you want to go fast. You want to be like, okay, cool. Who do you know? That will be able to plug into the call tomorrow at 8 p.m. So they're going to call people. And you don't want them to say, hey, come to a Sunday event, because those people are going to cancel 2 days from now. You want to say, hey, look, plug into our presentation webinar tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Why? Because now when they're excited, we're going to have another one on Wednesday, and on Thursday, and on Friday. And then finally, if they're still excited on Friday, what are they going to do? They're going to come down to an event on Sunday. So you got to always learn to keep plugging people into the event. People that tuned into today's event, plug them into tomorrow's webinar. People that tune into tomorrow's webinar, plug them into Wednesday webinar, plug them into Thursday's webinar. Why? Because the more they hear the information, the more they're going to understand it. And even if they're not willing to take action right now, the third time to hear it, they're definitely going to take action. So you always want to keep people plugged into as many events as possible. Because remember what I said, closing is a process. Closing isn't always going to happen the first time that you show the information to someone. Sometimes you may need them to see the information multiple times before they close themselves, before they're like, you know what, I'm in, I want to get started right now, or before you can close them effectively. So the one of the things you need to understand is you need to always be inviting, because like even Monet told me this, a lot of people that have mentored me in this industry told me this, like you got to always be promoting events, always be promoting events. Like never ever promote, like, because if you're promoting the products, if you're promoting the services, you're going to always hit a brick wall. Because like there's someone, for example, I messaged quite a few people today, and there's a lady that plugged into our presentation. One of the ladies that messaged that plugged into presentation this evening. And I remember I messaged her earlier today, and she was like, she looked at my profile and she was like, is it about trading? I've tried it like multiple times, and, I'm not really interested in trading. And I was like, look, I was just straight up like, it's not just about trading. It's much bigger than that, but that's not the point. The point is this, from the conversation we've had, right now you're really looking to do something big. And what I've got to show you is much bigger than trading. But the only way you're going to know is if you actually plug into the meeting, listen to the information, and understand exactly what it is that I want to show you. And she plugged in, and, I spoke to her afterwards, and she's down, she's interested, she wants to sign up. So if you go away just promoting trading, you're going to turn people away, because people that have tried trading before and it hasn't worked for them, they're not going to want to do it again. They're going to be closed-minded. And then later on, you're going to say, well, we do travel as well. Now they're going to be thinking in their head like, okay, what are you really promoting to me? Trading or traveling, right? Or if you go promote traveling at first and they're like, you know what? I don't travel that much and I'm not really interested in traveling. And then later on, you're like, okay, that's cool. We also do trading. And they're going to be like, what are you promoting to me? Trading or traveling? Because now you're promoting two things, and people don't like people to always keep promoting something different to them. So to prevent that situation, you simply should not be promoting the products. What you should be promoting is the vision. What is the vision? I mentioned at the start of the training, being pioneers of a mega company at the very beginning. What is the vision? Ability to build something, build a vehicle, build a system that can make you financially free. That these are the kind of vision that you want to be communicating with people all the time. Not Forex, not cryptocurrency, not travel. Like, yes, these things can work. Like, you can get results by promoting these things, because there are people out there looking to get into Forex and they're looking for a way to learn. And yes, we provide a great way for them to learn Forex, and people looking to save money on travels. And yes, we provide a way for them to do that. But you don't want people to come in to a meeting or to an event with a limited mindset or with limited expectation of what we're going to deliver to them. We want them to come in prepared to receive an information that could potentially change their mind. And we want the importance of that information to be very high. Because if that importance is very high, they're going to sit down and they're going to listen to every single word that you say to them, rather than drifting up and thinking about la la land. So guys, I hope that makes sense to you guys. Because inviting is so important, and I promise you, like, even if 20 people in the team are really good at inviting, we're gonna be able to pack out our event this Sunday more than we did on yesterday. Was yesterday Sunday? Okay, more than we did yesterday, right? So we're gonna be able to pack out the event this Sunday more than we did yesterday. Okay, so all you got to learn to do is speak vision with people, communicate with people, not at them. You got to communicate with them. Okay, so always ask important questions. You know, what is it you do right now? If money wasn't a problem, what would you be doing? Right? If you had all the money in the world, what would you be doing? Right? You know, why are you working 4 or 5 different jobs? Like, what is your goal? Where do you see yourself in the next 5, 10 years? And we had someone that came to our apartment on Saturday. He came down to the apartment, and you know, we were talking, and you know, at first, you know, he came in and he was very guarded, and you know, like, you know, sitting in this, so exactly behind where I am right now. He was sitting in the corner, I was sitting on the other side, and he was like all folded his hands, and you know, he was like, at first that's what it was, but then we started talking, and I really got to know him, and I was asking him a lot of questions, and eventually he literally just said it. He was like, look, right now, like I'm working where I'm working, you know, I don't see myself, I would love to retire in the next 10 years. I asked him, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Like, ideally, I'd love to retire in the next 10 years. You know, but right now with what I'm doing, I don't see that happening. I see myself working until I'm very old and living off pensions. And as soon as he said that, I was like, boom, he's giving me the information that I need to close him later on. He's giving me that information, right? So now what you have is leverage. And the thing is, if he just come down and I just straight away jump to a presentation, I don't have leverage, because now the significance of that information for him is very low. He's not going to see it as an important information. But after he said that to me, I was like, straight up, what if I was to show you something that could retire you within the next 5 years? And straight away, he wasn't folding his arms anymore. He opened up. He opened up. He was now more relaxed. He was like, show me. I want to know. Like, that's this, like, when you dig for information, this would open people up. And this would open people up to be open to the opportunity that you're going to share with them. But when you just want to push information in people's face, of course they're going to be guarded. Of course they're going to be like, I'm not interested, or let me do my research, or you know what, I want to think about it. But if you invite effectively, if you show people apply it effectively, get to know them really well, like from straight away, they're going to be open to the information, and straight away, they're going to be able to tell you whether they want to be part of the opportunity or not. So that's it for me, guys. I hope that was going to help you guys moving forward. If you have any questions, you know, you can drop it in the Limitless group chat, and I'm more than happy to answer your questions.